I take you to be my lawfully wedded wife, to cherish you in sickness and in health. And as long as you respect my purchases, evade every possible chance at arguing, massage my feet every night, be perfectly accommodating to my needs when I'm sick, don't go into the military, draw me a bubble bath at will, and always tell me I'm right. Allow me to spend the biggest spending to you whenever I please, always refer to me as higher than you, and always remain in love with me no matter what comes along. Then and only then will I join you in marriage.
I don't.
Unfortunately, this is an accurate representation of what we should change our vows to in today's world. This is because divorce is so prevalent in today's culture. Most people will end up terminating their marriage for reasons as unjustifiable as the ones above. And to a certain extent, we can change that. I propose that we change the lawful necessities for divorce to take place for 3 reasons. Infidelity should be the only reason for divorce, according to the Bible. The divorce rate is too high, and a divorce affects a lot more people than just the couple getting the divorce. Quote, but I tell you, everyone who divorces his wife, except in a case of sexual immorality, causes her to commit adultery, and whoever marries a divorced woman commits adultery. Matthew 5:32. In this verse, Jesus tells us that the only reason why one can initiate a divorce is in the case of porneia. In the Greek, the word porneia means basically every sexual sin under the hood, which means that with sexual immorality there are no exceptions to this. Jesus is also telling us that in divorce we are committing porneia by divorcing someone for reasons besides sexual immorality. According to a study compiled by Wilkinson and Finkenbeiner for divorce attorneys, only an average of 55% of divorces are caused by infidelity. This places nearly 45% of people who've gotten a divorce in sexual sin. Also, in this study, we learned that 41% of first marriages in the U.S. result in divorce. This means that 23% of people married in the U.S. will end their first marriage in an illicit divorce. These are not great numbers, and we can change them. One way to change this rate would be to remove no-fault divorces and specifically to make the laws more stringent to people opting for divorce. This should hopefully discourage people from abruptly ending their marriage with a divorce, as well as keeping families together longer. Quote, every 42 seconds there's one divorce in America. That equates to 86 divorces per hour, 2,046 divorces per day, 14,364 divorces per week, and 746,971 divorces per year. Wilkinson and Finkelbeiner divorce attorneys. These numbers are scary. During a typical wedding reception, an average of 860 people will get divorced. Most people will recommend getting a divorce, saying to just start over. You made a mistake marrying them. Starting over will fix everything. We also have the data for people who started over. Quote, the divorce rates for second and third marriages are 60% and 73%. This tells us that when we choose to start over, you typically don't get anything that much better. What we've learned is that you should stay with your first spouse, and even if something comes along, simply seek a marriage counselor. Even though the Bible says you can divorce your spouse if they cheat on you, it does not recommend doing so anyway in that case. The final reason why we should strengthen our divorce law is because it affects many more people than the couple getting the divorce. Quote, according to Nicholas Wolfinger, in understanding the divorce cycle, the risk of divorce is 50% higher when one spouse comes from a divorced home and 200% higher when both partners do. This data point alone shows that the presupposition of divorce doesn't affect others is entirely false. When you get a divorce, for any reason, it will greatly increase your kid's chances of divorce as well. Quote, if a close friend gets divorced, you are 147% more likely to become divorced, and 33% more likely if a friend of a friend is divorced. All of these data points tell us that divorce affects nearly everyone around you when you get one. Hopefully this will help us to think twice before treading on this slippery slope. In conclusion, we should greatly restrict our divorce laws, including removing no-fault divorces. The Bible says that the only acceptable reason for divorce is infidelity. Due to lax laws, the divorce rate in America has gone way out of hand. Finally, it's not going to affect only you and your former spouse. It will affect nearly everyone around you, increasing their chances of divorce. The biggest change we should make to our laws is to remove the no-fault divorce, as it is the biggest contender of high divorce rates. Again, this matters to our families in America. Since we have so much divorce present, it makes us think that a proper family should have their parents separate. Thank you.
Wow.